Family and nothing could beat us. My friend them out to support me, and my neighbors who help to grow me. Oh Lord, once they supporting me, and music take a hold of me. Standing here in unity, so nothing could ever topple we know. Can you feel it now? 'Cause all we need is love. We're there with you, there with you. Can you feel it now? 'Cause all we need is love. We're there with you.
Hello and welcome to our family from across the globe. I am Alicia Ali, your host for this auspicious day in the life of the Development Cooperation and Resource Mobilization Unit of the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States Commission, the OECS Commission. Today, we are pleased to be honoring our commitment to provide relief and recovery resources to St. Vincent and the Grenadines following the devastation and displacement caused by the volcanic eruptions of April 2021 of this year. The OECS Commission continues to stand in solidarity with the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines and wholeheartedly supports the post-eruption recovery efforts. The Commission, in response to the last Soufrière eruptions, orchestrated a resource mobilization strategy by leveraging its partnership network via our diplomatic missions, our development partners, and our private and public sector partners to channel assistance to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. For the past few months, our people in St. Vincent and the Grenadines have been grappling with a distressing scenario, compounded by the effects of the Eastern Caribbean's climate vulnerability. Hurricane Elsa followed the volcanic eruptions, causing intense flood conditions. All of these events, including adverse weather conditions, are challenges individually, but they now have to be placed against the backdrop of the COVID-19 pandemic. Today, we are making good on our pledge to support, fully aware that the disaster relief needs of the last Soufrière eruptions have metamorphosed into recovery and rehabilitation mandates. Here are comments made earlier this year by Dr. Alyssa Alvis, a leading clinical psychologist based in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. These comments are still relevant today.
Enormity of the situation in terms of how many people are internally displaced. St. Vincent has an estimated 110,000 people. There are as many as 22,000 people who are not currently in their homes. And I really want anybody who's thinking about our situation and considering how they want to support us or help contribute to the recovery effort to really grapple with that idea. Like, look at your own house. Think of all of the surroundings that you know and love. Think of your community, everything that you hold there and that feels familiar to you. And imagine having to stuff a few belongings into a bag and run. And now imagine being almost a month from now, having still not gone back to your home to be able to see what condition your home is in, and also not knowing whether or not you will be back anytime soon. So we have, we've heard estimates of when will people be able to go back to the northern third of the island, and it's estimates as long as 4 to 5 months in terms of re-entering. And then in terms of rebuilding, we're looking at something in the order of years. So think of what it might be like for you to be in that sort of situation and know that a fifth of our population is in that condition. We are going to need a lot of help for a long time, and once the sensational piece is done and the eruptions stop happening and we stop having those dramatic plumes in the sky and you're no longer part of the international news cycle, people forget. And just as we have seen in other countries, after the impact of the earthquake in Haiti and the hurricanes, Irma, Maria, Dorian, the effort goes on and is still going on for those disasters that happened years ago, and the same thing is going to be true here. So I really want people to understand that we've been turned upside down and are still upside down. None of those people have gone back to their homes, and we are still going to need help for an extended period of time in order to try to start to get back to normal.
Such important and insightful information that is still so very pertinent. Thank you very much, Dr. Alvis. We have had local, regional, and international aid supporting our coordinated effort by way of Memoranda of Understanding through the OECS Pooled Procurement and Supply Chain Management Unit, the OECS PPS. We have partnered with the AFIA Foundation Outreach, the Stronger Together campaign, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in New Zealand, the European Union. Official requests were sent to the Organization of African, Caribbean, and Pacific States, the ACP, the European Civil Protection and Humanitarian Aid Operations, or ECHO, and the Emergency Response Coordination Center of ECHO. At this point, I would like to invite the Director General of the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States, Dr. Didicus Jules, to commemorate this virtual handing over ceremony.
You give but little when you give of your possessions. It is when you give of yourself that you truly give. These words of the Lebanese poet Khalil Gibran are an appropriate expression of the essence of the Stronger Together campaign that we launched at the onset of the volcanic disruption in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And this is also an expression of the spirit of the OECS, giving of ourselves to each other, understanding that we are always stronger together. It is my honor to officiate at this virtual check handover ceremony to affirm the coordinated efforts of the OECS Commission to raise awareness of the plight of the people in St. Vincent and the Grenadines following the eruption of the Soufrière Volcano, to corral local, regional, and international relief, rehabilitation, donation, and to galvanize an international funding drive to support post-eruption recovery initiatives. Through a resource mobilization strategy, the Commission leveraged its partnership network to route assistance for St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and there was a multi-layered approach to this strategy. The formation of the Coalition for St. Vincent and the Grenadines and the Stronger Together We Are Global Family campaign, executed alongside the O2N Foundation. The latter included the design and launch of a crowdfunding campaign, leveraging network of partners through the OECS Pool Procurement and Supply Chain Management Unit, connecting with key development partners and diplomatic allies through the Brussels and Geneva missions, designing and implementing an aggressive social media campaign directed at bringing visibility to the situation in St. Vincent and the Grenadines with the aim of getting Caribbean nationals and the diaspora to contribute towards the effort. consolidating the network of private sector organizations across the Caribbean and globally. Given the focus of the Commission since April 2021, the outcome of its work in leveraging its partnership network resulted in the mobilization of relief items, the majority of which are in-kind relief items donated via the Commission or directly to St. Vincent and the Grenadines from the Commission's efforts. In doing this handover, we are simply the channel through which the love of our Caribbean people is transmitted. Donations have come from private citizens, from the business sector, from organizations within the region and beyond. St. Vincent will also benefit from an additional 1.4 million EC in project funding that will be executed by the Commission's Environmental Sustainability Division. As the recovery and rehabilitation efforts in St. Vincent and the Grenadines continue, I wish to assure Finance Minister Gonzalez that we will continue to work indefatigably with you on that road. On behalf of the OECS, I take this opportunity to thank everyone who has contributed magnanimous support, be it large or small, to our international call to action contributors. I thank you.
That was Dr. Didacus Jules, the Director General of the OECS. Now I would like to welcome Honorable Camilo Gonzalez, St. Vincent and the Grenadines Minister of Finance, Economic Planning, Sustainable Development and Information Technology, to do the honor in receiving the funds on behalf of his people.
My name is Camilo Gonzalez and I'm the Minister of Finance and Economic Planning of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It gives me the greatest pleasure to thank the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States, and in particular, Didacus Jules, Dr. Jules, for the extraordinary support that the OECS has lent to St. Vincent and the Grenadines during a most trying time. From the very moment that La Soufrière Volcano began erupting, and it erupted explosively 32 times on 32 different occasions, causing tremendous devastation across the country. Dr. Jules and the OECS responded immediately to the trying challenges that we were facing and continue to face from an organizational standpoint, from a humanitarian standpoint, and from the perspective of raising awareness and resources to assist the government and people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The OECS has been absolutely stellar. In addition to reaching out to their own partners and to allies and leveraging their own diplomatic talents to raise awareness and raise resources, the OECS held the Stronger Together campaign, which was a multimedia bonanza, bringing together talents from all over the Caribbean to raise awareness and to solicit contributions for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Through the efforts of the OECS, almost $5 million have been raised, some of it in cash, some of it in kind, some of it through various projects that will be funded by friends and allies of St. Vincent and the Grenadines and the Eastern Caribbean. I am extremely grateful, and the government and people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines are extremely grateful to the yeoman effort, the tireless service of Dr. Jules and the OECS, and to you, the people of the Eastern Caribbean, for your generosity of spirit, for your solidarity, and for your commitment to being your brother's keeper. We couldn't do it without you. We're grateful to what we have received so far. We know that we have not exhausted your generosity and your solidarity, and as we emerge from this stronger together as a region, we know that we can continue to count on Dr. Jules, the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States, and the peoples of the Eastern Caribbean in striving higher, building back better, and achieving great things together. Thank you very much.
Let's stand together to rebuild the nation of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. St. Vincent and the Grenadines need our proactive endorsement. Guardian Group believes in integrated service, integrity, and investment. Let us, the corporate community, commit to the recovery of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The eruption of Soufrière Volcano dislocated a country already fraught with the COVID-19 distress. The only way to get back on its feet is with the intervention of partners. Let's be a partner today. Guardian Group is a proud partner in the rehabilitation of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Let's give generously for the sake of restoring confidence, for the sake of reclaiming dignity, for the sake of resuscitating economy, for the sake of reassuring sustainable development. It is our obligation to ensure the well-being of our Caribbean civilization. Let's lend a hand. Let's make a difference. Give, donate, pledge now. We are stronger together.
St. Vincent and the Grenadines need our help. We are our brothers and sisters' keeper. The eruption of the Soufrière Volcano has disrupted the sanctity of the jewels of the Caribbean. We must come together as a region to do our part to restore and rebuild the lives and livelihood of our volcano-ravaged people, worsened by pandemic impositions. It's more than our corporate social responsibility as the philanthropic arm of Jamaica's indigenous bank, National Commercial Bank. It's our duty as a CARICOM member state to rise to the occasion and contribute meaningfully. We at the NCB Foundation are proud to be corporate donors to this worthy cause. We have taken action to extend our mission beyond Jamaica to lead in strategic partnerships and focus on the development of our Caribbean family. It's not a question of relief, it's a question of rehabilitation. It's not simply a question of sustenance, it's a question of sustainability. It's not simply a question of funding, it's a question of forward thinking. Come on, corporate Caribbean. Let's pledge now. The St. Vincent and the Grenadines Island depends on us as we are stronger together.
It's our moral obligation as a substantive corporate establishment to be responsible and accountable. When urgent cooperation is necessitated, the Jamaica Stock Exchange is powered by the spirit of actionable corporate social responsibility. We are committed to contributing to the growth and development of associated vulnerable nations in the region. Now, the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines need our support as after the eruption of Soufrière Volcano, the country was left ravaged. The disruption affected lives and livelihoods of this nation. The JC believe in collectively advancing sustainable development goals. We believe in an acceptable return on equity to vested interests, and most importantly, we believe in partnering for a worthy cause. We are proud to have donated to this cause and call on other corporate Caribbean companies to do likewise. The time to pledge is now. Donate and give to the recovery campaign of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The people need our help now. We urge you not just to talk about their plight, but to sympathetically show that you mean what you say and that you say what you mean by giving it liberally. Please join the cause because we are stronger together.
We live in a global village. We must interconnect to demonstrate that we're a single community. We share a sense of belonging on this planet. We must help each other in time of need. St. Vincent and the Grenadines need our help now. Let's do our part. Private sector businesses all over the world have an obligation to empower corporate social responsibility mandates. We need corporate commitment to collaborate in reinstating stability, security, and sustainability. In a country displaced by the eruption of Soufrière Volcano, let's take the lead in restoring hope. Reef Trust and Latitude Group is a proud donor to the rehabilitation drive for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We make an appeal to other corporate entities to show compassion, act responsibly, and make inroads to attain millennial development goals in the interest of collective human rights. We are each other's custodian. Let's ensure each other's freedom. Let's make the world a better place by taking a stance to aid nation, all in the interest of universal solidarity, for we are stronger together.
Thank Thank you to each and every one of you who made this venture a success. We appreciate you. You have shown that we are stronger together. I am Alicia Ali, and on behalf of the OECS Commission, I'd like to remind you, we are one community growing together. Thank you.
Stronger, we better together. Stronger, we better together. Stronger, we better together. Stronger, we better. Stronger, oh, we're better together. Hands in the air together. Tell them we better together. We stronger, stronger, stronger. Come let me do this together. Tell them we're strong together. Tell them we better together. And all I really need is me family and nothing could need us. Me friend them out to support me, and me neighbors who help to grow me. Oh Lord, once they supporting me,